Hi everyone, Simon here with a review of Drink More Glurp. Drink More Glurp is QWOP the Olympics, da-da-da! And it's available on PC, and you do definitely require a controller to play. This game is all about the jelly physics, and it's available for 1 to 20 players to play locally, but it's worthwhile noting that all you need is just one controller because the game is pass and play. So you aren't necessarily racing against each other in the races or the hurdles or anything like that. It very much plays like the throwing events in an Olympics. So you just take it in turns, trying your best, getting across these very short events. But bearing in mind, if you've got 20 people round, yeah, it's good fun, but it's going to take you a while to get through all those 20 people because you aren't necessarily all playing quote unquote together. You're taking it in turns, which is fine, but just be aware of that. The game itself lives and dies on a couple of things. The first one is around its physics, and its physics are what I would call jelly mould plus octopus, but you've only got 2 limbs. So I suppose, is that a duopus? I don't know. And the idea around this is that you use your analog sticks to kind of rotate your limbs around, and that can kind of create almost like a running forward carrot, a bit like, you know, in cartoons where everyone's like trying to get away from something. It works similar to that because you can gain momentum, and also if you're going a bit too fast, you kind of like start to run off the floor and create some air, which is not the fastest way to get anywhere. However, there are lots and lots of mutators in this game that change how your arms work. And I'll get onto mutators as a whole in a second, but specifically on the design of stuff. It could make your body heavy, it can make your body light, it can give your legs elbows. So instead of actually propelling forward, you basically you've turned into a frog, and you have to kind of like use your analog sticks to kind of flick left and then right, almost like at a 45-degree angle, hoping that you can kind of leapfrog your way across a level instead. There's a variety of different leg mutators, and they all change how you play the game dramatically. So it's great that the jelly physics kind of are able to be manipulated in so many different ways because it keeps the game fresh. The other thing that keeps the game fresh is the variety of mutators on the actual levels as well. Now, the game says that there are thousands of possibilities of event and sponsor coordinations, because the whole thing about this game is that it's trying to tell you to drink more glurp, as that glurp is like this sponsor opportunity that this Olympics has had. But there's a variety of other ones, and they kind of place different spins on events, I guess. So if you're doing the running or the hurdles, it might be that there's like an alpine type sponsor, and then that places like a ginormous mountain in the middle that you've really got to struggle to climb up. It could be that some of the shooting ones have like rubber bullets that will bounce off of walls and things like that you need to do first. It could be that some of the other events require that you've only got one leg, so then you've got to try and hop your way through it. There's a variety, and what I found is that after the initial 15 minutes where you're kind of learning what each of the base events are, you can then up the ante and take yourself out of the beginner mode and start mucking about in the other tiers of difficulty, because that's where this roulette wheel of random generation of levels and like mutators really comes into its own. It means that whilst you can get used to some of the game physics, no 2 events will be the same all the time. So it means that you can't really have a runaway winner if you're playing local multiplayer games, because you're always facing up against new challenges all the time. And I really liked that about Drink More Glurp. The kind of downside with that, and something that I wish that they had implemented with the game, is that if this is all randomly seeded, normally when you've got procedurally generated randomizations of things, you get a seed that lets you save that. And what I'd have really liked is that if you'd got a combo that like was really good fun and playable and everyone liked it, I'd like to have been able to have saved that specific randomization so that I can curate my own like best of funny mix-ups, because you can't necessarily create these yourself. You're letting the game kind of throw things in front of you, which can sometimes lead to a run of really difficult events that no one really does well on. There were specific ones that I struggled with. and a couple of my mates struggled with, which was where we had to put balls in a box or items in a box. It was like loading a removal van type thing. And the physics are so mucked up that it's really difficult to get right. And out of 6 of us playing, only one person got one thing inside of the box. And that wasn't even on the hardcore mutations. And I was like, Christ. So yeah, when everyone's failing, but it's not even funny failing, if that makes sense, this game can be a little bit arduous to play on. But if you manage to get that balance struck between being silly and funny but still accessible enough for people to like have a go and play at, this game will be quite nice as a drop in and out party game for you to play with. The other good thing around the local multiplayer kind of things is that it's all designed around drop in and drop out. So you might have 10 people at the beginning, but then someone might kind of drop out. You can choose to just let them leave the game. It's like hot seat party mode, so that you can kind of just gain and lose people as you go. The other thing that's really quite cool as well is that over time there's plenty of customization options, so that you can really make a character that suits you and keep you more and more entertained as you dress them stupidly and then let them loose against each other. So that's Drink More Glurp. There's a few things on here that I'd really have liked to have been included in the game, but what's here is really, really fun and good in itself. Just be careful around how you deal with the party mode kind of layers of difficulty and judge accordingly to your audience, because what I personally found was that we went too nuts too quickly and no one could play it. So we had to rein ourselves back in again to beginner's mode. If you're looking for just being a single player experience, there are some single player challenges in challenge mode, which all have global leaderboards for you to play up against. And that was quite fun as well initially. As it kind of lets you hone some of your skills so that you can then take it to the multiplayer. But this game is really designed primarily as being a multiplayer experience first, but I do appreciate that you can tackle even the party mode in single player mode, so you can just enjoy yourself and not be restricted down to what a developer decides is just a single player challenge and that's your lot. You can get stuck in with that randomization just on yourself as well, and that's good fun too. So written review will be over on higherplayinggames.com in about 2 weeks' time. I'm not able to do written reviews this week, unfortunately, but yeah, good fun. You guys take care. Bye for now. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.